And now, as we do annually, there will be a ceremonial passing of the presidential gavel from Star Muir to the 2020 president of NCA, Kent Ono. No, you won't. That's the design. Thank you, Star. Yep. We will now begin the awards portion of this evening's event. We are grateful to our publishing partner, Taylor & Francis, for their generous sponsorship of tonight's presidential address and awards ceremony. As part of their sponsorship, the monetary awards presented to students this evening will be supplemented and enhanced by funds from TNF's sponsorship. Before we begin the presentation of the NCA awards, I'd like to acknowledge the 2019 recipients of Presidential Citations for Service. At Wednesday's very short and efficient Legislative Assembly meeting, NCA President Star Muir conferred Presidential Citations for Service on several individuals and institutions. And as I announce their names, I ask that you reserve your applause until the end. First, our outgoing executive committee members. Ronald L. Jackson II, an officer, former president of NCA. Marnell Niles Goins, finance committee chair. And Mindy Fensky, our research council chair. Next, our outgoing editors. Tamara D. Afifi, the editor of Communication Monographs. Robert Allen Brookie, the editor of Critical Studies in Media Communication. Deanna L. Fassett, editor of Communication Teacher. Eric Ramsey, the editor of the Review of Communication. And Mary E. Stuckey, the editor of the Quarterly Journal of Speech. Next, we have presidential citations for service, and we'll take each one of these as I read them individually. Kristen C. Blinny from SUNY Oneonta for enthusiasm and energy developing the critical junctures of communication, social activism, and mindfulness, and for truly capturing the spirit of a 2018 convention theme, Communication at Play. Don M. Boileau, George Mason University, for a career and a lifetime of support of SCA and NCA growth and initiatives, willingness to go above and beyond in the service of others, and mentorship of hundreds of young communication scholars. Brian Gruey of the University of Denver for thoughtful engagement and continuing support for an inclusive, accessible, and safe environment at NCA events, and in particular for co-leadership of the Anti-Harassment Task Force. Kitty E. Grace of Hastings College for leadership and support of an inclusive and safe environment at NCA events, and also in particular for co-leadership of the Anti-Harassment Task Force. Alan D. Loudon from Wake Forest University, for support of innovation and excellence in the activity of debate, including training and mentorship of thousands, literally thousands, of debaters and coaches. Maureen Manelli, posthumously of Kingsborough Community College, CUNY, for supporting and enriching communication studies in Russia, Eurasia, and Eastern Europe, and serving as a friend and mentor to a wide variety of young scholars. Anita Taylor, George Mason University, for courage, humor, and determination in fostering gender equity and inclusion in SCA and NCA, and decades of support for the appreciation and understanding of women in language. Nancy J. Willits of Cape Cod Community College for nurturing and fostering support for community college faculty and students engaged in the study of communication and participating in regional and national conferences, and for task force and other leadership in an effort to create community college engagement in NCA. And now the hosts of several NCA events this past year. The Department of Communication first at Denison University, host of the Hope Conference. For the commitment of time, energy, and facilities, has host of the Hope Conference for 3 years, furthering the ends of faculty development and reinvigoration within the discipline of communication. The Department of Communication at the University of South Florida, who hosted the 2019 Doctoral Honor Seminar. For the commitment of time, energy, and facilities, has host of the Doctoral Honor Seminar, providing recognition of excellence and engaging and stimulating interactions for early career scholars. The School of Media and Communication at Shenzhen University, host of the U.S.-China Communication Colloquium. For the commitment of time, energy, and facilities, has host of the Intercultural U.S.-China Communication Colloquium, providing engaging and revelatory experiences in a rich cross-cultural exchange. And we can give this next one to Kent. For the Department of Communication at the University of Utah, the local host and organizer for many years of the NCA AFA Summer Conference on Argumentation. For the commitment of time, energy, has the longtime local host of the Alta Argumentation Conference, offering tireless commitment to creating a stimulating discussion and analysis of our changing argumentative landscape. Congratulations, and thank you to all of the recipients of Presidential Citations for Service. NCA is now pleased to recognize the following recipients of distinguished achievements in our discipline. Each of this year's award recipients join an esteemed group of scholars and educators who have been honored in the past for achieving excellence in the areas of teaching, research, and service. The first award this evening is the Donald H. Ackroyd Award for Outstanding Teaching in Higher Education, which honors an NCA member who exemplifies superlative teaching. Through their commitment to teaching, Bacon Award recipients have made notable and diverse contributions to the communication discipline. This year, the award is presented to Julie Ann Scott Pollock of the University of North Carolina, Wilmington. Julie Ann Scott Pollock is a professor and director of performance studies in the Department of Communication Studies at UNCW. In 2018, Scott Pollock was awarded the UNCW Distinguished Teaching Professorship Award, and in remarks at the presentation, Provost Marilyn Shearer cited the Award Review Committee's words about Dr. Scott Pollock as follows. In creating an interdisciplinary minor in social justice that spans across 6 majors, Scott Pollock blazed a trail to make communication, performance, politics, and psychology less boundary restricted. The selection committee also commended Scott Pollock's passion for teaching and talent for teaching from the UNCW community to the Wilmington community, concluding that Dr. Scott Pollock is clearly a great ambassador for us all. Congratulations, Dr. Scott Pollock. The Marcella E. Oberle Award for Outstanding Teaching in Grades K through 12 honors an NCA member who demonstrates exceptional teaching, guess what, in grades K through 12. This year's recipient of the Marcella E. Oberle Award has a long and distinguished career in communication education. Like Marcella Oberle, Anita Boyd of Mississippi's Laurel Christian School has had a broad impact in the field of communication education and has changed young people's lives for the better by showing them the power of communication. Boyd has taught for over 40 years and coached speech and debate for 32 years. Instrumental in forming the Mississippi National Speech and Debate Association District in the early 1990s, Boyd has served on the district committee every year since. Twice, Boyd has been named Mississippi's National Federation of High School Speech, Debate, and Theater Teacher of the Year. A dedicated educator, Anita Boyd embodies the principles of teaching and of teaching communication for which Marcella Oberle is remembered. Congratulations, Anita Boyd, and accepting the award on her behalf is Robert Stockton. The Michael and Suzanne Osbourne Community College Outstanding Educator Award recognizes individuals who have made outstanding contributions to education at community colleges while exemplifying excellence in teaching, scholarship, and service to the communication discipline. As an aside, I would note that Michael Osbourne, who would normally be here, had a fall and a little injury, couldn't come, but we send him all of our best wishes. This year, the award is presented to Susan M. Ward. Dr. Susan Ward is an associate professor of communication studies at the Delaware County Community College. A highly respected professor, Ward's approach to teaching is intellectually challenging, stimulating, and accessible in the classroom. With 11 significant publications, 50 presentations at major conferences, as former chair of the ECA Community College Interest Group, and as former chair of the NCA Community College Section, Ward is recognized as an exceptional scholar, teacher, and leader. Dr. Ward has shown the dedication to students and to the field of communication studies in many ways and is worthy of recognition as the 2019 Michael and Suzanne Osbourne Community College Outstanding Educator Award. Congratulations, Dr. Ward. The Wallace A. Bacon Lifetime Teaching Excellence Award recognizes the teaching excellence of retired college and university faculty members. This year, the award is presented to Stephen A. Smith of the University of Arkansas. During 33 years as a faculty member at Arkansas, Professor Smith has manifested a lifetime of teaching excellence. Smith's commitment to students was unwavering. Smith created unique opportunities for student learning, which greatly contributed to their development and to their accomplishments later in life. Letters from students written in support of this nomination recounted extensive and specific ways that Smith's teaching affected their lives, both professionally and personally. Motivated by a desire to encourage and recognize student achievement, Smith founded Lambda Pi Eta, which would become the communication discipline's official honorary society. Professor Smith's life of teaching excellence is truly worthy of recognition and celebration. Congratulations, Dr. Smith. The Charles H. Wolbert Research Award is presented to an NCA member or members who has published a journal article or book chapter that has stood the test of time and has not only had a substantial impact on the discipline, but has stimulated new conceptualizations of communication phenomena. This year, the award is presented to Sarah J. Tracy of Arizona State University and Angela C. Trethewey of California State University, Chico, for their article, Fracturing the Real Self, Fake Self Dichotomy, Moving Toward Crystallized Organizational Identities, published in Communication Theory in 2005. Tracy and Trethewey's groundbreaking 2005 article is an exemplar of theoretical sophistication and methodological provocation that has been and continues to be a catalyst for communication scholarship across the discipline. Tracy and Trethewey created an exceptional framework inspiring and enabling communication scholars to embrace post-structural theory's critique of identity in order to become better citizens, better advocates, better scholars, better teachers, and better selves. Congratulations, Drs. Tracy and Trethewey. The Diamond Anniversary Book Award is presented to the author of the most outstanding scholarly book or books published in the last 2 years. For 2019, 2 books are receiving the award. This year, the first Diamond Anniversary Book Award is presented to Lawrence Grossberg of the University of North Carolina for the book Under the Cover of Chaos, Trump and the Battle for the American Right, published by Pluto Press in 2018. In Under the Cover of Chaos, Grossberg explores the rise of Donald Trump, the new right, and the media, and places these phenomena in a broader and longer historical and conjectural context. Grossberg's rigorous and insightful analysis raises new questions and problems, from affect and the structures of feeling to the crises of modernity to the identification of chaos as a key logic that lead to new strategies and new questions. Under the Cover of Chaos combines critical scholarship, trenchant conceptual and methodological insights, and a lucid and engaging presentation. Accepting the award on Grossberg's behalf is Dr. Rakashome. The second Diamond Anniversary Book Award for 2019 is presented to Melanie Lowing of Mississippi State University for the book Homeless Advocacy and the Rhetorical Construction of the Civic Home, published by Penn State University Press in 2018. In Homeless Advocacy and the Rhetorical Construction of the Civic Home, Lowing illuminates the critical relationship between public policy and ideas and practices of democracy. Focusing on the issue of homelessness, Lowing demonstrates that housed and unhoused do not represent fixed categories or stable life trajectories, but moments and dynamics that reveal the struggles of negotiating an unequal, exclusive, and often uncaring society. Addressing issues of visibility, corporeality, and temporality, and articulating a civic rhetoric of advocacy, deliberation, and protest, this book offers lessons for scholars and students considering a range of topics. This is a well-researched, well-written, and humane book that promotes understanding of the lives of people living on the margins of society. Congratulations, both Drs. Grossberg and Lowing. The Donald P. Cushman Memorial Award honors the top-ranked student-authored paper from all NCA interest groups that rank papers competitively at the NCA annual convention. This year, the award is presented to Elizabeth A. Hintz of the University of South Florida and the bedazzled Clinton L. Brown of Purdue University for the essay Child Free and Bingoed, competing discourses of reproductive normativity and autonomy animated in online narratives of conversations about voluntary childlessness. In their paper, Hintz and Brown examine how people communicatively negotiate family expectations and what actually constitutes a family. This literature demonstrates a solid theoretical grounding with recent research in relational dialectics, with additional explanations of normative expectations and the concept of bingos. The methodology used a naturalistic population from online posts, thus gathering real data applicable for the study. Their conclusions and discussion pull in ample links back to the literature with practical and important implications for how individuals construct and discuss the meaning of families and parenthood. By the way, Mr. Brown indicates that he is on the job market and would appreciate your appreciation of his bedazzlement. Congratulations, Elizabeth Hintz and Clinton Brown. The Douglas W. Engert Distinguished Rhetorical Scholar Award honors scholars who have executed research programs in rhetorical theory, rhetorical criticism, or public address studies that demonstrate intellectual creativity, determination, and impact on academic communities. The Engert Award for 2019 goes to Lisa A. Flores of the University of Colorado. Yeah. Lisa Flores is a foundational scholar in Latinx rhetorical studies. Dr. Flores has powerfully intervened into the canon of rhetorical studies, incisively demanding a space for research that is theoretically nuanced, grounded in the particulars of lived experiences, and ethical in its expansion of our discipline's understanding of race, ethnicity, gender, decolonization, migration, and identity. Dr. Flores has navigated a field grounded in presumptions of whiteness and masculinity with tremendous aplomb and persistence, resourcefully theorizing race as a topic that is both rhetorically constructed and experienced materially. Dr. Flores has published dozens of influential articles and book chapters. By foregrounding race in rhetorical interventions, excuse me, I'm so moved, Dr. Flores' impact on the discipline at large and rhetorical studies in particular is undeniable and extraordinary. Congratulations, Dr. Flores. The Franklin S. Haman Award for Distinguished Scholarship in Freedom of Expression is given to the author or authors of exemplary research published in the area of freedom of expression for its exceptional quality of composition and the enduring value of scholarship. This year, the award is presented to Stephen A. Smith of the University of Arkansas for the book Freedom of Expression, Foundational Documents and Historical Arguments, published by Oxbridge Research Associates. In Freedom of Expression, Foundational Documents and Historical Arguments, Dr. Smith has provided the most comprehensive and inclusive anthology of readings that have guided scholars thinking on freedom of speech and First Amendment issues. Dr. Smith's introduction of each text situates and contextualizes each one brilliantly and illuminates the incredible depth of research that went into the production of this anthology. Through over 188 artifacts and texts, readers are struck by the breadth of issues, including early legal codes, the correspondence between Madison and Jefferson on the First Amendment, and the debates of anarchists and socialists. Quite simply, this text is foundational to the study of freedom of expression. Congratulations, Dr. Smith. The Gerald M. Phillips Award for Distinguished Applied Communication Scholarship recognizes NCA members with a distinguished record of research and creative scholarship in applied communication. This year, the Phillips Award is presented to Debbie S. Doherty of the University of Missouri. Dr. Debbie Doherty's career is dedicated to theory building and empirical research related to social issues such as sexual harassment, food insecurity, social class, and sexuality in organizing contexts. Among this distinguished record, Doherty has published 8 articles in the Journal of Applied Communication Research, including a recent forum on sexual harassment that has been viewed online over 40,000 times. Based on an article on sexual harassment published in Human Relations, Harvard Business Review contacted Doherty and highlighted the resulting piece as a must-read for the year of 2019. Dr. Doherty has been featured in O, the Oprah magazine, National Public Radio, Forbes, The Washington Post, GQ, and The Huffington Post. Dr. Doherty currently serves NCA as the editor of the Journal of Applied Communication Research. Congratulations, Dr. Debbie Doherty. The Gerald R. Miller Outstanding Doctoral Dissertation Award recognizes the most outstanding dissertations completed the previous year. This year, 3 awards are being presented. The first award is presented to Jordan Allen of Utah Valley University for the dissertation completed at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln entitled Distant Yet Existent: Network Dependence Theory and the Commutative Constitution of Functionality Estranged Family Relationships. I read that wrong. Functionally estranged family relationships. This was advised by Dr. Dawn Braithwaite. The scholarship of this project is centered at the intersection of interpersonal and family communication. This dissertation specifically blends theoretical and methodological specializations as a qualitative, interpretive, and critical scholar. It's beautifully written and organized as a dissertation that explores estranged family relationships through 36 qualitative interviews, which yielded great insight into the experience of family relationships and data that fill an important gap in the literature. From this data collection, Allen developed a new theory, networked dependence theory. This is an outstanding dissertation with rich, qualitative exemplars that bring the voices and experiences of persons in functionally estranged relationships to life and light, providing imaginative insight into how to think about interpersonal and family communication in a novel way. Congratulations, Dr. Allen. The second Gerald R. Miller Outstanding Doctoral Dissertation Award is presented to Lucy A. Burkhart of Augustana College for the dissertation completed at the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill, entitled Attitudes Toward Antiquities: Rhetorical Enchantments, Preservation Advocacy in the American Southwest, directed by Dr. Carol Blair. This dissertation was impressive in its scope and perspective, as well as the professional and mature writing it displayed. The authors moved to study heritage preservation and public memory via the lens of scientific and institutional governmental discourses, provided a new perspective on the ways that science and academics contribute to hegemonic public memories and public policies that shape public places. Burkhart shows how theory is remade when asked to help make sense of rhetorical documents. Rhetorical terms enlighten the discourse at hand, showing us how the language in the archive shapes an understanding of indigenous peoples, Anglo-Americans, and the issues of preserving remarkable, enchanting places. This study contributes not only to areas within our discipline, like the rhetoric of science and public memory, but also to disciplines outside of communication and rhetoric, including archaeology and historical studies. Congratulations, Dr. Burkhart. The third Gerald R. Miller Outstanding Doctoral Dissertation Award is presented to Sophia Fu for the dissertation completed at Northwestern University entitled, Where Does Innovation Come From? Exploring the Dynamic Processes of Organizing and Managing Social Entrepreneurship and Innovation, advised by Michelle Shumate. Funded by a National Science Foundation Decision, Risk, and Management Sciences Dissertation Research Improvement Grant, this dissertation was comprised of 3 impressive studies, including qualitative interviews of 53 entrepreneurs in China, ethnographic observation and archival analysis of online forums, as well as development and validation of a scale tested among over 600 U.S. nonprofits. It advances our understanding of ways that organizations manage institutional complexity, developing a scale to measure that complexity and demonstrating a path that predicts the novelty and quality of innovations from institutional complexity. Congratulations, Dr. Fu. The Golden Anniversary Monograph Award is presented to the most outstanding scholarly monograph published during the previous calendar year. The award is presented this year to Clark D. Olson of Arizona State University and Kurt Schineman of Glendale Community College for the article Engendering Dystopia, the Performance of Torture at Guantanamo Bay Prison, published in Text and Performance Quarterly in 2018. The article engages an important topic, the U.S. military interrogation of Muslim prisoners at Guantanamo Bay prison using tropes of female sexuality with precision and journalistic integrity. The article educates its audience about the interrogatory practices of the U.S. government, particularly as they apply to religion, culture, and sexuality. The authors use mostly direct quotations from military personnel and prisoners to detail what went on behind closed doors, and its ultimate conclusion, or at least one of them, is that the acceptance and permissive use of these performances of torture by women produces a dystopic society where we no longer question the uses of our bodies by the state, the uses of freedom and equality, and we no longer resist its coercive instrumentalization. Congratulations, Drs. Olson and Schineman. The James A. Winans and Herbert A. Witchelm's Memorial Award for Distinguished Scholarship in Rhetoric and Public Address was established by students and colleagues and admirers of these two distinguished Cornell University professors and honors distinguished scholarship in rhetoric and public address. This year, the award is presented to Carly S. Woods of the University of Maryland for the book, I'm excited about this one, for the book Debating Women, Gender Education and Spaces for Argument, 1835 to 1945, published by Michigan State University Press in 2018. Debating Women is an ambitious and impressive scholarly feat. Wood significantly recast the thesis that debate is civic education through deep historical research into how women at several colleges and universities in the West over the course of a century expanded both access to the activity and spaces for debate. Debating Women, Woods shows, stood and delivered arguments, embodied their cases, and claimed the study and practice of argument, both for themselves and the public good. All told, Debating Women is a standout achievement in the study of rhetoric and public address, a lively reminder of the power of telling the stories of those who demanded to be heard, and a meticulously researched and creative contribution to contemporary contests over who gets to speak, when, how, and about what. Congratulations, Dr. Woods. The James L. Golden Outstanding Student Essay in Rhetoric Award recognizes an outstanding essay by an undergraduate or pre-master's graduate student focusing on the history, theory, and criticism of rhetoric. This year, the award is presented to Uni Kim of the University of Utah for the essay, An Impression of Asian People, Stereotype and Identity in Ali Wong's Stand-Up Comedy. Comedy is serious business, and it calls for critical scrutiny. Through sophisticated engagement with diverse available scholarship, Uni Kim's paper brings to light the complex cultural resonances and dissonances of Asian American comedic rhetoric. Engaging in a close study of the stand-up comedic performances of Ali Wong, the essay makes an important contribution by challenging established assumptions about how stereotypes function as rhetorical forms. It also offers productive insights into the rhetorical modalities of racial identity, reproduction, highlighting their ambivalence, reflexivity, fault lines, and critical potential. Congratulations, Uni Kim. The Carl R. Wallace Memorial Award seeks to promote and foster philosophical, historical, or critical scholarship of recent PhDs or advanced doctoral students in rhetoric and public address. This year, the Wallace Award is presented to Abraham Kahn of the Pennsylvania State University. Abraham Kahn is an assistant professor in the Department of Communication Arts and Sciences and the Department of African American Studies, and is the current Lawrence and Lynn Brown McCourtney Early Career Professor in the College of Liberal Arts at the Pennsylvania State University. The Carl R. Wallace Award Committee unanimously selected Dr. Kahn to receive this year's award to support a project entitled The Significance of Soccer in South Africa, Democracy and Rhetorical Practice in the Makana Football Association. The Makana Football Association was a soccer organization founded by inmates at Robben Island Prison during the time of apartheid in South Africa in the 1960s. Given an already strong record as a sports and race scholar, it is clear that Dr. Kahn is well positioned to undertake this important archival exploration. Congratulations, Dr. Kahn. The Coors Campbell Prize in Rhetorical Criticism is one of the largest awards ever established to sustain and advance the study of rhetoric in American higher education. The Coors Campbell Prize was created through the generosity of Carlin Coors Campbell and the late Paul Newell Campbell for the encouragement of original research and scholarship of the highest quality in the field of rhetorical criticism, and is awarded biennially at the annual convention of the National Communication Association. The 2019 Coors Campbell Prize in Rhetorical Criticism is awarded to M. Kelly Carr of the University of West Florida for the book, The Rhetorical Invention of Diversity, Supreme Court Opinions, Public Argument, and Affirmative Action, published by Michigan State University Press in 2018. As one reviewer noted, Professor Carr's manuscript is a well-organized, well-researched, and clearly written analysis of the inventional process involved in the development of Justice Powell's controlling opinion in the Regents of the University of California against Bakke case. By focusing on rhetorical processes and by relying on classical and contemporary rhetorical theories, Professor Carr's work adds to the broad body of literature analyzing affirmative action in general and the Bakke case in particular. Congratulations, Dr. Carr. The Leslie Irene Coger Award for Distinguished Performance is presented to a director, producer, teacher, or performer who has contributed an outstanding body of live performances and manifests a superior career dedicated to performance. This year, the award is presented to Jay Allison, an associate professor of communication studies at the University of North Texas. Over the course of a long career, Dr. Allison has made a significant contribution to the field of performance studies through both teaching and research. Dr. Allison has written, directed, and performed over 28 performances, authored over a dozen peer-reviewed journal articles and book chapters, and advanced performance studies at the national, regional, and local level through a variety of roles. In 2018, Allison collaboratively wrote, directed, and staged the show What We Talk About When We Talk About Race. The performance included 7 distinct but intertwined scenes, each of which depicted the problematic nature of our discussions of race in America. The breadth and quality of this work and so many others situate Dr. Allison as an outstanding performer and scholar who will continue to carry on the legacy of Leslie Irene Coger into the future. Congratulations, Dr. Allison. The Lilla A. Heston Award for Outstanding Scholarship in Interpretation and Performance Studies recognizes individuals' scholarly and professional contributions to interpretation and performance studies. For 2019, 2 Heston Awards are being presented. The first Heston Award for 2019 is presented to John Dennis Anderson of Emerson College for the article, The Medium is the Mother, Elsie McLuhan, Elocution, and Her Son Marshall, published in Text and Performance Quarterly in 2017. Anderson's article is a model of the kinds of archival research that is critical to historical writing on performance. Through meticulous analysis of the selections, programs, and approaches to elocutionary performance produced by Elsie McLuhan, and the interplay between this work on embodiment of language and Marshall McLuhan's theories on the ways in which media are tied to bodily and sensory experiences, Anderson makes truly revelatory connections previously unexplored. In addition, it opens up important cultural connections between Canadian traditions and U.S. ones, which have been relatively underexplored, thus helping us to understand borders and their permeability, even if it is the northern border. Anderson's impact on the field spans more than a quarter of a century, and this most recent article is an exemplar of the kinds of historical scholarship that ties the earlier periods of performance practice and pedagogy to the myriad strands of performance in contemporary society. It is an outstanding recipient for the Lilla A. Heston Award. Congratulations, Dr. Anderson. The second Heston Award for 2019 is presented to Javon Johnson of the University of Nevada, Las Vegas for the book Killing Poetry, Blackness and Making of Slam and Spoken Word Communities, published by Rutgers University Press in 2017. Killing Poetry, Blackness and the Making of Slam and Spoken Word Communities is a multi-sided ethnographic project that explores how blackness, complicated by gender, sexuality, and class, serve as a problematic boundary maker in the making of slam and spoken word poetry communities. Situated firmly within performance studies, African American studies, literary studies, and American studies, Johnson's work is as much about social justice as it is an intellectual enlightenment. Killing Poetry argues that the truly radical potential in slam and spoken word communities lies in imagining and working towards altogether different social relationships, or what Johnson terms possibilities beyond. Part performance ethnography, critical ethnography, memoir, poetry, journalism, and archival research, all stitched together by performance theory, Killing Poetry transgresses genres and boundaries in search of more creative ways to answer increasingly complex questions about the ways in which blackness functions in slam and spoken word communities. Congratulations, Dr. Johnson. The Mark L. Knapp Award in Interpersonal Communication recognizes individuals who have made significant scholarly contributions to the study of interaction and/or relational processes while contributing to the quality of interpersonal communication. This year, the award is presented to Steve Duck of the University of Iowa. Steve Duck's work centers on interpersonal communication and relationship development and disintegration, especially highlighting relationship functions of everyday talk. Duck's extensive list of over 250 publications includes 50 books published as either author or editor. More than any individual, Steve Duck promoted the study of personal relationships as an interdisciplinary field and articulated the distinctive contributions of communication scholarship. Duck founded the International Network on Personal Relationships and the Interdisciplinary Journal of Social and Personal Relationships, serving as editor for 15 years from its inception in 1984. Unfortunately, Dr. Duck is not here with us this evening, and NCA accepts his award on his behalf. And now for a particularly important and special moment, I'd like to invite Ron Jackson and Orlando Taylor up to the stage, both former presidents of NCA, for the awarding of the inaugural Orlando L. Taylor Distinguished Scholarship Award in Africana Communication. The Tailor Award honors a scholar whose body of work demonstrates a sustained commitment to the study of African American and/or African diasporic communication and culture. And the inaugural recipient of the Orlando Taylor Award is Joelle M. Cruz of the University of Colorado for groundbreaking work on African approaches to communicating, knowing, and organizing, which have caused organizational communication scholars to reconsider the assumptions undergirding central planks in the field. Dr. Cruz's research in the area of alternative organizing contributes significantly to understanding ways that Black women grapple with entrepreneurship in post-conflict situations in both Africa and the United States. Richly sourced and engaging, Dr. Cruz's scholarship demonstrates that other compelling ideas can reside at the center of intellectual thought, including African and African American feminist theories and organizing. Cruz's approach is autoethnographic and makes the case that the struggle for human flourishing is at the very core of new and fresh conceptual insights into how we think and what we believe. Professor Cruz's innovative and invigorating scholarship sits on firm foundations regarding systems of social and cultural thought, and it is highly visible and valued from Liberia in West Africa to university settings in the United States. Cruz truly is challenging and upsetting underlying philosophies about the nature of organizations and how they work. Congratulations, Dr. Cruz. The Stephen E. Lucas Debut Publication Award aims to identify and praise a contribution to the discipline by an author publishing a first scholarly book or journal article. This year, the award is presented to Megan Alyssa Fletcher of North Carolina State University for the article We to Me, an autoethnographic discovery of self in and out of domestic abuse, published in Women's Studies in Communication in 2018. Megan Alyssa Fletcher is a PhD student in the Communication, Rhetoric, and Digital Media program, as well as an instructor of communication and interdisciplinary studies at North Carolina State University. In the essay We to Me, an autoethnographic discovery of self in and out of domestic abuse, Fletcher provides a rich and layered analysis through their unique work in regards to intrapersonal, interpersonal, and critical analysis. The article is multifaceted, far-reaching, and expands our understanding of critical and feminist theories and methods, interpersonal theories and methods, and autoethnography. Congratulations, Megan Alyssa Fletcher. The Robert J. Kibler Memorial Award recognizes individuals with a commitment to their profession, concern for others, and acceptance of diversity and forthrightness. This year, the award is presented to Tina Maria Harris of Louisiana State University. Dr. Tina Maria Harris is professor and endowed chair in race, media, and cultural literacy in the Manship School of Mass Communication at Louisiana State. Harris is an internationally renowned interracial communication scholar with particular expertise in race, media representations, and racial social justice. Harris's pedagogy, research, service, and leadership in NCA and the communication discipline are driven by the ability to empower others with the communication and critical thinking skills necessary for becoming global citizens. The end goal of these efforts serves to equip students to use an applied approach where theory leads to practice in a world where racial, ethnic, and cultural diversity are a welcome inevitability. Over a lengthy career, Dr. Harris has provided generosity in giving time, advice, and friendship, no matter an individual's rank, while simultaneously showing courage and forthrightness in speaking up in face of injustice and working to create a more compassionate world. Congratulations, Dr. Harris. The Samuel L. Becker Distinguished Service Award recognizes individuals who have made the greatest contributions in the areas of research, teaching, and service to both NCA and the profession throughout their career. This year, the award is presented to Melissa L. Beal of the University of Northern Iowa. Dr. Melissa L. Beal, known as the Legend of Listening, is a world-renowned figure in the field of communication. Beal is a professor in the Department of Communication Studies at the University of Northern Iowa and has served the communication discipline across levels from K-12 through graduate education and areas, including communication education, the introductory course, listening, intercultural, argument, and debate. Dr. Beal has dedicated literally thousands of hours to the communication discipline, from president of the Central States Communication Association to North American vice president of the World Communication Association to president of the International Listening Association to basic course textbook author to conference planner to graduate student director to K-12 forensics coach. Beal's life truly demonstrates a commitment to professional service and advancement of the communication discipline. Congratulations, Dr. Beal. The Distinguished Scholar Award recognizes and rewards a lifetime of scholarly achievement in the study of communication. The recipients of this award showcase our profession through their long-term commitment to the discipline and their consistent contributions of outstanding scholarship and intellectual leadership. And it is my pleasure and honor to present the 2019 NCA Distinguished Scholars. Our first distinguished scholar this year is Molefe Kete Asante of Temple University. Dr. Asante is a scholar who is long overdue for this recognition. Asante is well respected and held in high regard by many in the discipline for the spectacular and profound work in developing and centering Afrocentricity as a theoretical framework celebrating Africa and the African diaspora. Dr. Asante is a trailblazer for creating a space where Afrocentric communication phenomena were brought from the margins to the center of communication scholarship. Asante is beyond worthy of being recognized as a distinguished scholar because of a well-developed and long-standing reputation of maintaining an aggressive publication record, as well as being keynote speaker, mentor, advisor, editor, and prolific author in top-tier journals across many disciplines. Dr. Asante is a standout awardee who has had and continues to have a far-reaching impact on academy and beyond in ways that many peers do not. Truly an intellectual revolutionary who is worthy of being an NCA Distinguished Scholar. Congratulations, Dr. Asante. Our second distinguished scholar to be recognized this year is Lawrence R. Frey of the University of Colorado. Dr. Larry R. Frey has a long-standing exemplary career as an applied and group communication scholar who has excelled in publishing and advancing theory and scholarship. Dr. Frey has sustained a level of productivity that excels and exceeds that of many peers. Frey has received numerous awards from NCA and various institutions in recognition of the important contributions made to the discipline. As a senior scholar, Frey is committed to collaborating with a considerable number of junior colleagues and graduate students across rank and institution. Dr. Frey has also championed the use of scholarship to promote activism and to address the issue of social justice in its many forms. Dr. Frey embodies the phrase theory to practice and is a model for other scholars committed to research with the potential for change in real-world contexts. Congratulations, Dr. Frey. Our third distinguished scholar to be recognized this year is Gary Elk Reps of George Mason University. Dr. Dr. Gary L. Krebs is an exemplary scholar who has had a tremendous career as one of the leading health communication scholars in the discipline. Krebs has been a trailblazer in the field of creating and providing service to several programs or institutes, especially the NIH, maintaining an incredibly aggressive research agenda and securing millions of dollars in federal grants to address real-world issues through theory and applied communication scholarship. Dr. Krebs is a distinguished scholar who has published over 400 peer-reviewed journal articles, an extraordinary number of books, and who has received many, indeed countless, awards. Congratulations, Dr. Krebs. Our fourth distinguished scholar to be recognized this year is Thomas K. Nakayama of Northeastern University. Dr. Thomas K. Nakayama's publication and citation records far exceed many who have already been inducted as distinguished scholars. Nakayama introduced intersectionality to the discipline and co-authored what is deemed the definitive essay about whiteness and rhetoric. Dr. Nakayama is an outstanding nominee because the exceptional quality and quantity of scholarship produced throughout a career filled with unique and influential contributions to the discipline. As a scholar of color and an openly queer scholar, Dr. Nakayama is an exemplar of what it means to be a distinguished scholar, replete with powerful and groundbreaking contributions to the discipline. Congratulations, Dr. Nakayama. Our fifth distinguished scholar to be recognized this year is Denise Haunani Solomon of the Pennsylvania State University. Dr. Denise Haunani Solomon has made an impressive mark by developing and introducing relational turbulence theory as a lens for understanding how people manage traumatic health issues, i.e. breast cancer survivorship and infertility, and post-deployment military family life. Solomon's research reflects a scholar who uses diverse methodologies to ask and answer critical questions about human relationships and tensions therein. Dr. Solomon's theory has stood the rigor of peer review in our top journals and institutional presses, which is a testament to a tenacity as a scholar. Solomon has maintained a very active career-long research program and has received many accolades for this work. Dr. Solomon should be an NCA Distinguished Scholar, as a standout scholar with countless contributions that advance through communication theory through applied scholarship. Congratulations, Dr. Solomon. Congratulations to all of our award recipients this evening. To the award recipients, I would only ask that you please join us out in the hallway in front of an NCA backdrop for a group photo. That would be much appreciated. For all of you, I wish you a happy and joyous holiday season coming up. And thank you so much for coming to tonight's presidential address and award ceremony. Please enjoy some champagne that I believe is waiting for us out in the hall.